On this week's show, we have coverage from the Single A and Double A Baseball World Series, the Kansas Fast Pitch State Championships, and the World Fast Pitch Championships, which took place here at Community America Ballpark, home of the T-Bones. It was in conjunction with the National Pro Fast Pitch Series. Let's start with a recap from WFC 2016.
It's only at this time of year where we get to go face pitching and the level of competition that you see in an event like this.
It just gets me pumped and ready to play. Like, woo! I'm just so excited.
To be able to be here in front of this type of coaches in this type of environment, and for these girls to showcase what they have.
We've been working really hard, and so we've definitely earned it, but it's definitely extremely special.
We put all of our guts and glory on the field. We just love the game so much that that's all you can do.
It's lit at the tournament. Wish you were here with us.
On Tuesday, during the WFCs, the USSSA Pride took on the Scrapyard Dogs, and I caught up with hometown hero Kiki Stokes, who discussed returning to Kansas City to play as a professional in front of her family and friends for the first time.
Kansas City's just awesome. I didn't really realize how cool it was until I left for school, and then I came back and I was like, wow, Kansas City's actually really cool. So it was so much fun to just be around my family, be around my friends. To be able to have everybody out here this week was awesome, and it meant so much to me. People here are so supportive, and they want the best for everybody, and so I think that it was really cool to be able to see my old coaches that I grew up with, and it's just humbling knowing that they were the ones who got me to where I am now. So it's definitely something big for Kansas City, for these girls to know that, the travel ball coaches matter and high school ball coaches matter, and so it was definitely awesome.
On Wednesday, WFC teams showed off their moves off the field at the Youth Sports Tailgate.
The tailgate was really cool, seeing all the vendors and even meeting some of the NPF girls like Kaylani Ricketts and Lauren Chamberlain.
Yeah, I dance.
To see that this sport has opened up to many other people now, it's amazing.
After 5 days of top-notch competition, the championships took place on Saturday and Sunday on CBS Sports Network. Let's get to the highlights.
When we started putting this World Fast Pitch Championship together and we started seeing the talent level of the 12 and under, I could not wait to get out and watch you guys play. It was unbelievable. These guys have fought hard all week. You two teams put on a show on national television. A championship game, the first one in history of the World Fast Pitch Championship.
We'd like to congratulate the Bat Busters for coming out here and winning today. They played great all week, but most importantly, these 11 kids have really shown that they're one of the top teams in the country. They battled, came back last night to get here with a walk-off hit to drive in the winning run. They just don't quit, so I'm so proud of them, and this week has been first-class event to put 12-year-olds on television. It's a monumentous weekend for girls fast-pitch softball.
I just feel like we got loud and we were confident in each other and we could just trust each other and what we were doing and everything. Always staying up and being loud in the dugout and just always playing as a team and not as individuals. And when you're hitting and when you're struggling, just to make some adjustments at the plate.
I just believe in myself. I have to have confidence when I go up there and when I see my pitch. I drive it, and I think fastball look changed because we saw a lot of good pitches with good changeups. So I was thinking fastball the whole time. And we just know we have to come out hitting next time. Be strong.
We can just keep on working harder and getting better and maybe come out next year and do better in it and improve.
Impact on three, 1, 2, 3, Impact 79. Woo! Fast Pitch Championship, OC Batbusters Garcia. And I'll tell you what, ladies, that was one heck of a dog pile right there.
Well, Desiree, we hugged first, and then I tripped on someone's foot, and so I fell on top of Desiree, and then everyone just piled on top of us. So it was painful, but it was amazing.
It was a tough game. We knew it would be a tough game. Georgia Impact's a solid team, and the girls are excited. You know, they've worked hard all year to compete in July, and that's how we measure our success. Close games don't affect us. You know, back at home, we play these games every weekend, and we're comfortable with a one-run lead with our defense and with Lacey pitching. We're confident that it's going to be tough to score a run on us for sure.
Your 2016 MVP, pitcher Lacey Ham.
I just try to listen to my teammates in the background to keep cheering me on, and that's what keeps me going and focused and confident in my pitching.
I'm insanely proud of Lacey because she pitched so much, and I know that she was working her hardest, and she's probably tired, exhausted because she pitched that much, but she did amazing, and everyone else worked their butts off to get here.
I think I pitched every game except for one. In the season, building up to Kansas City, all of us would run throughout the week, like 2 miles per week and then 4 miles per week, and that's what builds our stamina, and that's what helps us get through games like this.
It's a team effort. I'm not the only one here that leads us. I have everybody here. We all do our part, and all these parents are amazing. They never run out of energy. You know, by the end of this week, I thought they were going to be dead on the couch, you know, but they kept going. They pushed us through this, and they were the loudest ones at times, but they got us pumped up.
Oh, jeez. This is just amazing. Like, when we first heard about this, that's when it all started. We all started planning, started getting mentally prepared to win this, to feel that awesome feeling that we're number one and we're the first number one.
That's it! All three, Garcia!
OCBB! 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 On Sunday at the WFCs, the 14 new age group was an all Batbusters championship.
A hard-fought 4-2 game where you guys get out there and compete and you play the game the right way. So great job. You both teams should be very proud of yourselves.
I think the competition was good this week, but this game right here was probably the hardest game.
It was unfortunate. I don't think we played our best softball today, but that's the way it goes in a one-and-done situation. They just outplayed us. They made the plays and we didn't make them.
Well, our organization's very strong, and we try to make it that way so we can compete with each other and keep each other guessing on how we're going to play each other. And congrats to them for playing good softball, and it's just going to make us work harder to beat them because now they're the team to beat.
So congratulations, 2016 14 under world champions, OC Batbusters Masquerades.
I think it's great. I mean, we had another Batbuster team on the other side, so I mean, the outcome was going to be great for our organization regardless. I'm proud of our girls. We came out and we battled. That's a great team. I imagine we got PGF coming up here in a few weeks, and I imagine the same result here in about 3 weeks, playing on a Saturday.
It was a little weird playing the other Batbusters at first because we played them earlier in the week and we were a little intimidated. So we learned from our mistakes. We got our hits down. We just had a lot of prep talks at the beginning of the game to pump us up. So I think that's what got us all going.
I think in the later innings we stopped swinging at bad pitches and we started swinging at some good pitches and just having quality at bats.
Well, this tournament, we really got to work together more, to come together as a team and what we do, because if we fall behind, we come back together stronger towards the end, and we're just a better team.
We have to take a quick commercial break, but when we return, find out who topped the leaderboard at the AA and Single A World Series.
Why do you do this? Day after day. What could possibly be worth it? It's the deepest desire for something greater. That is what makes a Team USA contender. The chance to stand under the American flag and to know that you are inspiring millions. So if you want to give up everything for the chance to have that medal hung around your neck, we're honored to have you working with us.
Take a break from routine and gather where sophistication meets fun. Pinstripes offers a premier bowling, bocce, and bistro experience. Indulge in chef-made from scratch Italian-American cuisine with locally sourced ingredients in every dish. Celebrate with thoughtfully selected wine, rotating craft beers, and handcrafted cocktails. Gather in the spacious events venue and the plush seating for professional game-side food and beverage service. Pinstripes, connect, play, and change your frame of mind.
Hey, I'm Paul, and I used to ask if you could hear me now with Verizon. Not anymore. I'm with Sprint now, because guess what? It's 2016 and every network is great. In fact, Sprint's reliability is now within 1% of Verizon. And Sprint saves you 50% on most Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile rates. So I switched to Sprint, and millions more have too. Can you hear that?
Don't let a 1% difference cost you twice as much. Switch to Sprint today.
After a hard-fought 2016 season, it all came down to the Single A and Double A World Series. We headed out to Fountain Bluff to check out the action. On Friday, July 8th, at the Double A World Series opening ceremonies, there were team parades and skill competitions. Athletes showed off their talents in base running, throwing accuracy, and around the horn. State Farm-sponsored entertainment allowed family members and coaches to also get in on the fun. The ceremony ended with the parade of teams before they faced off the following day. Moving on to the championships on Wednesday. Starting in the top of the third, Royals lead 3-0, and the pitcher isn't letting Central Iowa Swing make that gap any smaller. He strikes out two of the batters, and the first half of the inning ends with an out at first. In the bottom of the third, Royals score 3 more, bringing the lead to 6-0. A 4-hour rain delay puts the game on hold, but it doesn't slow the Royals down. Picking it up in the bottom of the 5th, Royals already added 3 runs and are up 9-2. Then with the bases loaded, this one slips past the first baseman and into right field, tallying enough for the run rule. The Wichita Royals earn the 9AA World Series 10-2 and mob their hero who brought in the last run. Then they all get a piece of the championship trophy. On to the 11AA final, jumping to the top of the 4th. This started as a close game, Force leading 3-1. The Storm's pitcher overthrows to first, allowing the man on third to cross the plate. Then another missed catch at home lets them pick up another. And their bats stay hot, scoring 3 more runs before the Storm first baseman collects this pop fly for the third out of the 4th. Later in the game, Force up 14-2 in the bottom of the 5th, but Storm gets a little offense going with a grounder to left field, knocking 1 run in. Force's defense is too good though, and holds on to the game in another run rule, 14-3. Storm was undefeated leading up to this game though, so they faced off again in the if game, with Storm edging Force 8-7 and taking the 11AA World Series. In 13AA, it's 3-0 Raiders over Midwest Nationals Red in the 5th, and Raiders first baseman makes a great grab out of the air. Then, moments later, the right fielder going all out for this one, he nearly makes the diving play, but the Nationals get a single for their first run of the ball game. But they wouldn't close the gap any further. Nationals huddled up now and on the defensive side, and a few outs later, their short makes a great stop, but the missed catch allows the Raiders to cross the plate again, increasing their lead to 5-1. Raiders add 2 more runs, which causes Nationals to bring in a new pitcher. But it's still the same story. With 1 on, Raiders crank it back over the left field fence, a 2-run home run for another run rule at Fountain Bluff. And the Raiders clinch the 13AA World Series 9-1. Moving on to the Single A World Series Championships on July 20th at Fountain Bluff. The Diamond Club Owls splashed their coach after topping Gardner Thunder 11-3 in the 11 Single A final.
It's pretty exciting. It was our first championship this year that we won. So at state we did bad, so this was our chance to get back at it.
I'm so proud of these kids. 2 years ago or a year ago, we were 2-19 battling to win games, and we've kept fighting and kept getting better and better. This is an awesome moment. It's just a blast. We're really proud of what we did and what everyone else did this weekend. I think it proves we're ready to move up to AA in the fall. We got a lot more baseball ahead.
The Raymore Rebels up against Decepticons in 9 single A. Catching the end of the game, the Rebels pitcher secures the final out to first, and the Rebels win it 10-6. We caught up with the coach and the team after all the celebrations.
They worked hard, all the blood, sweat, and effort they put into it really paid off, and they showed got the results out of that, the win in the World Series here.
It feels awesome. Feels awesome. So much fun. Oh, feels great.
In 12 single A, 4-3 primetime over Panthers in the 5th till primetime slaps one up the middle with the bases loaded, and 3 runs are added on the board. Primetime continues to surge, tallying 4 more runs for 11-3 final and World Series championship rings.
It means a lot because it's my first year playing on a traveling team, and I don't think we've won one ever before, so it's a good feeling.
I was just proud of the way they fought all week long. Okay, our pitchers, every pitcher we brought in was able to throw strikes, and our defense played outstanding all week long. I couldn't be more proud of these guys.
Moving on to fast pitch, the Kansas State Championships were team's last weekend of preparation before the national championships. Let's find out who topped the leaderboard. Starting off in 12A, Strike Zone Select taking on Kansas Renegades Red. Strike Zone batter pops it up to Renegades shortstop, who is there for the out. Renegades go on to win 6-1, forcing the if game. Then in the final matchup between the teams, Strike Zone prevails 4-3 and earns the 12A Kansas State Championship. On to 14A, Frenzy starts it off with an early lead and a solo home run in the bottom of the first. Later in the inning, Frenzy gets a great jump on a high pitch to secure second base. Now moving to the second inning, tie ball game, and Team Kansas starts hitting the gas, but fails to place any runs on the board. To the bottom of the second, Frenzy gets a runner in scoring position after a bouncer to third. Then Frenzy starts running on the pop-up, which allows Team Kansas a double play to get out of the inning. Topeka Frenzy would go on to win the state title 7-1. In 16A, KC Crunch met Kansas Heatwave in the finals and won a close one 4-3 to be crowned state champions. Checking into the 16B matchup between NCK Nitro and Sudden Impact. Sudden Impact showing off their defense. Nitro batter almost slips a grounder past the infield, but Sudden Impact's second baseman stays with it and flips it to first, just in time to get the out. Nitro cruises to a 5-0 victory. In the final showdown, KC Fire and Flint Hills win, competing in 18B. KC's defense was on fire, anticipating the bounce and firing to first for 1 down. Later in the game, Flint Hill in the field, and Fire lays down the bunt, making it safely to first. Then they take advantage of the first baseman hesitating to throw the ball to the pitcher, stealing second. Flint Hill overthrows the throw to second, allowing 2 runs, and aggressive base running for Fire puts them in the lead. In the next half inning, Flint Hill sails the ball to right, but Fire's outfielder launches it right to the catcher's glove, who makes the tag. Fire safely gets out of that inning and the game with a 9-6 win. But with double elimination, they go on to an if game, and Flint Hill takes the championship 5-1. Thanks for joining us for USSSA Midwest Network News. Don't miss our final episode this season, which will recap the Fast Pitch Midwest National Championships. See you then.